We did a bit.
Worth every...
That didn't happen in the movie.
It is so tight in here. This is the tightest mask I've ever worn in my life. This is actually how Ben Tramer died. He couldn't breathe in this fucking thing and got hit by a car.
I'm more concerned about giving you ear holes than they were giving you air holes.
I know! Like, there's no mouth hole, there's barely a nose hole in you.
Just breathe through your eyes like a fish.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Like, holy shit. This is gonna be one of those Halloween costumes that I barely wear. Like, hey folks, I'm Ben Tramer. Since I'm alive in this universe, I can review the movie now. I'm definitely the father of Laurie's children.
I tell you, when Mike Myers got hit by a car in this one, I like half expect them to take off the mask and be like, old Ben Tramer. It's like, no, he cacked it again. God damn it, Ben, you had 2 jobs.
I know, like, if Sheriff Will Patton turned out to be Ben Tramer. Whoo! Oh, man. This thing is hairy, too. This thing sheds.
It's not a cage, it's a trap.
But when I got to the movie theater earlier, when I tried this mask on back at the house, I still had some white hair all over me.
Like you got attacked by an alpaca.
You get back there, Ben Tramer. Oh my god. I know, like, I was waiting for some kind of Ben Tramer reference to be in this film. Like, maybe,
like, it turns out one of her failed marriages was to Ben Tramer.
It still could be. They never really mentioned the last name or names in general of either of her ex-husbands.
Well, her daughter, Judy Greer, I can't remember the daughter's actual name.
Shit, neither do I.
Because the granddaughter's name was Allison, and the daughter's, like, gun had KS and a little lightning bolt engraved on it, so I have to assume it was Gary Stroud.
Oh, yeah. I was just sorry. It was just, maybe I accidentally, when I was trying to turn this on.
People are being awfully quiet.
I know, that's because Michael Myers is watching. So, sorry, chat. I might have accidentally... I might have accidentally turned chat off when I turned this on because I had to fiddle with the thing while wearing a Ben Tramer mask. So sorry if that's the case.
Well, just shout and maybe the rest of us will hear you. Oh
yeah, just shout. We'll hear you. So okay, well we just got out of the new Halloween film, Halloween H40.
Did not have Busta Rhymes in it.
Oh man. Or redneck saying the word fuck every other line. Although there are a couple characters in this who do say fuck every other line.
There's a couple characters that show up and I'm like, man, I hope you die.
And odds are they probably will.
Yeah, all of them did. So that's like the opposite of what my curse usually is in movies like this.
Oh, where it's the character you like and then they die?
Yep. This one I was like killing people with my mind. Like, pachoo, stoner friend. Pachoo, comic relief.
Which comic relief?
The one that, okay, you remember that kid from the 90s? He was in She's All That as, like, the fat friend.
And it's the same actor from this?
No, but it looked exactly like that kid.
Oh, that kid?
Yeah.
The like, nice friend guy?
Yeah, the kind of doofy blonde one. I feel like he was in Idle Hands, too.
Oh, okay.
I really liked him, and this guy looked exactly like him, but like not as charming and way more smarmy.
Sure, I mean that was a character you knew was gonna die.
Yeah, I hoped. But
yeah,
tis a consummation devoutly to be wished.
Yeah, that dude wasn't gonna make it out of this thing. I mean, there are a lot of nods in this movie.
But you know who did? Douchebag boyfriend.
Oh, yeah, he kind of just disappeared out of this movie.
Douchebag his way out of the plot and managed to survive.
Well, if there's another one of these movies, maybe he'll die in the opening scene of that.
Hey guys, we forgot to kill this guy, so just real quick.
We need to make a sequel, just in case. No, there's references in this movie down to the silver shamrock masks showing up in one part. There's 3 little kids on the street. It's when Laurie pulls up and is yelling for people to go inside, and there's 3 kids standing there wearing the pumpkin and the skeleton. Yeah, they're standing there in one scene. So this is the latest Halloween film, the one that brings back Laurie Strode, thus kind of making it a remake of Halloween H2O, sort of, only if it's 40 years later instead of 20, and instead of just
Didn't she die in, like, the first 5 minutes
She's died more times than Michael Myers has. Laurie Strode is dead in 4, 5, and 6 from a car accident that happened between 2 and 4. And then she died at the very beginning of Resurrection. And H2O and Resurrection, their timelines are from... It goes from 2 to H2O, then Resurrection, and wipes out 4, 5, and 6. This one wipes out all of them but the first one. So...
They could have kept the second one, I feel like.
I understand the reasoning of not keeping the second one, and I like the second one a lot. I understand the reasoning basically being just so they don't have to make Michael Myers and Laurie Strode brother and sister. That's probably the only reason why they wiped out the second movie. And I can kind of see that. I mean, that was never really a twist I cared all that much for to begin with.
Yeah.
But... So I'm kind of fine with that being rubbed out of it. But I do like the second movie a lot. It was
good.
Yeah, I enjoyed the second film.
Yeah, I liked the first and the second one as like it's like companion pieces.
Sure.
I feel like they supported each other.
Yeah, I think the first one it's wildly better than the second movie is in pacing, tone, and suspense and everything. Well, I mean, the second one... No, don't get me wrong. I like the second movie a lot. Whereas the first one is a bit more tension building than the second movie is. The second movie works as it's a really fun 80s slasher movie. The body count's way higher. It's way more absurd.
Body count, and I like creative ways of murdering people.
Like that
he comes up with some doozies in the second one, I tell you.
Dr. Mixture with a needle in his eye and fucking...
Yeah, like he boils someone in a bathtub.
Yeah, the nurse, when she gets done having sex with blood...
Why does a bathtub even have that setting?
And why did that kill her? Like I understand, she might have some scarring. I got fucking Ben Tramer hair. God damn it.
What are you doing?
Picking Ben Tramer hair out of my fucking mouth. People who are just tuning in are going to be confused by that.
He ain't Ben Tramer.
No, he's still back here.
It was hilarious.
Ben Tramer's still back here, along with the Yeti that I won for Laura when I was killing time with the crane machine.
So, I want to go back to the Silver Shamrock thing, because I think the main reason I didn't notice that was because I was mostly thinking, this is one of those bits from the first movie that I understand them wanting to carry over to kind of keep with the tone, but it's supposed to be modern day, and kids don't just run amok in the streets like that in Halloween anymore. And so it was kind of taking me out of the movie. Maybe there's got to be some
subdivisions that still do that.
Not that I've seen for a while.
I mean, granted, I haven't.
Because, I live in a fairly, quiet neighborhood.
Yeah.
We had, 2 trick-or-treaters last year. They go to the mall, or they go to those car trunk-or-treats.
But I'm sure that's not the case.
They're scared of Mike Myers.
Yeah. Honestly, they should be off the streets in Haddonfield. It doesn't care if it doesn't matter if it's 40 years later.
What are they gonna do? Cancel Halloween?
Yeah, I imagine it's still that way in some places. I would assume.
If you live in one of those areas, shoot me a tweet, because I was under the impression that kids didn't really do that anymore.
No, I still see plenty of kids out trick or treating, not to the extent. That
was a fucking block party.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put it past that actually still existing in real life. And even if things have toned down in that regard, as far as Halloween and trick-or-treating goes, I get it for the sake of this movie. Because it is the closest to kind of feeling like the first movie. It is the closest to sort of, feeling like a John Carpenter movie since the first one, outside of the third one, because the third one really does. And I love Halloween 3. That's the most underrated out of all of them. Halloween 3 is honestly the one that I go back to the most now. Every season I typically will pop in 3 at some point. And so I really like the nod to the Silver Shamrock masks in the movie. I don't know where that puts this movie universe-wise. Since John Carpenter's Halloween exists as a film in Halloween 3. The Silver Shamrock Company just exists beyond continuities.
Yeah, apparently. The power of Samhain just bubbled them into existence.
This
brawny man just appeared in the woods what?
Yeah. There is some really, like, suspenseful shit in this movie.
Yeah, it was a little slow. Like, there was a lot of wandering through rooms, pointing flashlights at stuff that might be Michael Myers, but then isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Which was, like, it gave me some downtime to think about the nature of evil in this movie versus the nature of evil in the original, which was nice, but, like, I was also, like, my mind wouldn't have wandered like that.
It does things...
a better movie, but... Not to say I didn't like it. It was just, there was parts where it kind of dragged for me.
It never dragged for me. I do have some issues with this movie. But it didn't drag for me. I mean, I certainly appreciated that character build-up, because that did kind of make it feel closest to the first one, as far as stuff like that goes. And it was just doing things better that I'd seen other Halloween movies do, especially since a lot of them I've kind of seen recently. Like, I had to rewatch the Rob Zombie ones this month.
Oh, no.
And this movie does PTSD Laurie a million goddamn times better than Zombies Halloween 2 did. It does, even some things that are a little familiar to 4, 5, and 6. This movie, it's just a better made movie than a lot of those are. It's got David Gordon Green behind it, who is a fantastic director. And this, you know, is kind of like if you took a movie like Halloween 4 or Halloween H2O and just gave it to people who were just a bit more competent. And, you know, I certainly have fun with some of the other Halloween movies, but this movie really is the closest to feeling like, to getting up there to where the first one was. I don't think this is as great of a movie as John Carpenter's Halloween, but this is clearly made by someone who is a very, very skilled filmmaker. From that one tracking shot alone, where it's just an unbroken take of Michael going in a couple of houses and picking off a couple of people. Like, that was one of the best, I think, one of the best film scenes I've seen in one of these Halloween movies. And like the first one, it really does make Michael Myers definitely feel like a shark. Like, yeah,
I like, because, like I said, nature of evil. I liked that he was more arbitrary in this than he was in the original and the sequels. Like, it's that sometimes in the original, and I think this was like an 80s horror movie thing more than like a specific Halloween thing. It sometimes felt like he was punishing people for bad behavior. Like, he'd go after the promiscuous ones, the ones that were attention. It was part of his character, you know. He didn't like that his sister was fucking around, so he stabbed her, and then he didn't like women fucking around, or like, you know, teenagers not basically paying attention. This one, he was just like, he'd see someone and he'd murder them, and that was just basically like, he only spared one thing, and it was like an infant. And it kind of like, it was interesting too, watching the different ways that the different characters were reacting to that, like that level of arbitrary evil. You know? Because like Laurie was, you know, attributing it to like a higher power, like making him into like the boogeyman, and then, you know, the doctor and the daughter were kind of like trying to, and the two documentarians were trying to kind of like pick him apart psychologically, and it's like, nah, dude, he's just evil.
I like
evil
that
does
about
evil shit.
I like that about this movie too, because it did that better than what Rob Zombie tried to do with his first movie.
Yeah, he got kind of up in his own ass about it.
Sure,
this movie just kind of let it happen.
The intent was certainly good in those movies, regardless of the execution and the final product of them. The ideas were fine, and the intent was certainly there, but these, where it actually is having people say, like, no, this guy's like a shark, this guy's pure evil, you just set him loose, he's gonna do shit like this, versus people that are trying to get him to talk, trying to try to find some trying to find some human being in there. And there are scenes in this movie where Michael is killing people without that mask on, and it's not like it's just showing his face or anything like that, but that kind of made it really creepy as well, that, like, looking at it from the point of view that he's killing, and you're just seeing this, like, dead-eyed human shark standing there fucking strangling you to death. It was kind of haunting, without actually showing you the POV of what some of these people are seeing.
Yeah, oh, plus the people that he was killing in those moments, the people that were trying the hardest to understand him. And, like, having them, like, just, like, even in their last moments, getting nothing from him was, I think, the creepiest thing about that moment.
No, it was. And that was something, like, again, the whole bathroom sequence, again, being, I think, kind of a nod to H2O that had a bathroom sequence in it as well.
Did it?
Yeah, it did, and this was a bit creepier than in that movie. Yeah, and I really, really, really did dig what they did with Laurie Strode in this film.
I like what they did with Laurie. I liked the doctor as well. I'm not trying to sidetrack you. I just want to make sure.
No, it's fine.
What do you mean by what they did with Laurie?
No, because I've now seen a couple of different movies that have her, this regardless of it being played by Jamie Lee Curtis or not. Like, okay, in Halloween H2O, where we see this, I realize they're in different continuities, but in H2O, that again shows what this character is doing 20 years later, and then in Zombies Halloween 2, which shows this character a couple of years later and is just medicated out the ass and acting belligerent. And man, that movie's not very good. So anyway, and then in this one, no, I really liked survivalist Laurie Strode. Like, I like seeing that. It was different.
Hard-ass sort of Sarah Connor.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Like a Sarah Connor, Laurie Strode. That is what I was thinking about in this movie. I was like, that's doing something different. That's doing something outside of what H2O did, and also different from what Zombies Halloween 2 did. Kind of same, dealing with how this person has sort of dealt with this situation that has happened to them. It was handled a lot better in this movie than I've seen it do in the past with this character.
Yeah, and that actually ties into my thought about the doctor, because like he had this whole spiel about like the different things that victimization does to people. You know, it can like harden them, make them strong, and you know, like paranoid and wackadoo, like it did with Laurie Strode. It can like it can even like turn them and, you know, create a cycle. And that's why like at this, there's a point, and obviously we're getting into spoilers, we've already done it, where Laurie meets the new doctor, and she's, oh, okay, you're Loomis. But then later he turns and has like a stab crazy fit, and I'm sitting in the audience like, no, he's the new Jamie.
Oh yeah, you know what did, real quick sidetrack, if there was one that, because a lot of these movies I watched a bit when I was a kid, 1, 2, and 3 way more than the others, but in rewatching a lot of them over the past couple of years for the snob, I actually really liked Halloween 5. Like,
was 5 the one with the party in the barn?
Yeah.
Because that's probably the one I've watched the most.
Yeah.
For some reason, it really appeals to me. Like, it's got a good pacing. I like the little girl. I really like the older friends, and I did too. Like, and I like the ending. You know, it's like, no,
yeah,
she's the fucking man.
You know, well, that was the ending of 4 when she stabs her sister. When Jamie Lloyd wears the clown mask and stabs her sister. The ending of 5 was the one where she's in the jail and the man in black comes in and takes her.
When does she go mute?
5.
Okay, then yeah, I've watched that one more. I'm just for some reason conflating the end of 4.
No, I mean, it shows the ending of 4 a lot at the beginning in part 5, but 5 was one I remember not caring much for when I was younger. I watched it again and I was like, fuck me, Michael Myers is ruthless as fuck in this movie.
Well, plus it's a little more sex positive, you know. So like she's got horny friends, but they're not portrayed as like, you know, layabouts or useless. They're just like, yeah, you know, Jamie's older sister's horny friends. Yeah,
you know what I like? Yeah, one thing I liked about 5 is the character of Tina, who starts out like the annoying, horny friend who you think is gonna die 15, 20 minutes in.
Tina,
and then becomes like kind of the de facto hero of the movie. Like still dies later on, but at least made it kind of towards the end.
You're still not allowed to have sex, you're teenagers, but
so and plus like that movie did stuff similar that you would see in the first one, where Michael Myers would just kind of pop up in the background in some shots. No, that one actually really held up for me, and this one does a lot of stuff like that too, where you just kind of see him in the background, out the window, behind someone's shoulder, and in a way that doesn't feel like it's just simply mimicking the first movie, where like, oh, girl's on the phone and you see him out the window. No, it was picking more creative shots to do, like that one long tracking shot where you see him kind of drift in and out of some scenes, even at the gas station.
In that window.
Yeah.
In that lady's house.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little, like, you could see where he was going, but I think that was part of the point.
So it does make, to go back to what you were saying about that doctor, there is a character in this movie that does make a turn. And when that happened, I was sitting there like, where are you taking me right now, movie? Like, I wasn't expecting that.
I was a little worried that it was going to turn out that Mike Myers died in that car accident, and Doctor was going to be the new Mike Myers.
Oh my god!
Like,
yeah.
What are you doing?
I did hear that the last act of this movie was kind of reshot a lot of it, so I sort of wonder, like, but I wonder if that played a little bit more into it. So, yeah, I was sitting there going like, oh man, are we going back into like Cult of Thorn territory right here? Like, here's kind of a nod to part 5 and 6, and that plot was wrapped up kind of quick.
Sure was.
To the point to where I was like, was that really necessary to go on this really 5-minute detour when we're going to the same destination?
Yeah, I think it was just that Doctor had to die.
Yeah.
And Mike Myers had to find his way to Laurie's house. And it seemed the easiest way to get those two things to happen. But you're right, it fucking wrapped up quick.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of stuff in this movie that wrapped up quick, and I kind of attributed it to the brutality of the deaths in the Halloween series, where, you know, they'll fucking kill you, and they'll kill you quick, and they'll kill you suddenly.
That guy did have a good death scene.
Like, those two documentarians I expected to last a little bit longer than they did. Especially that, like, douchebag...
Well...
redheaded guy.
It showed their deaths in the trailer, so I was like, I have a feeling they're not making it past the first act of this film, especially when it opens with them taunting the killer with his mask.
Yeah,
like,
well, so I expected like more of a comeuppance, but just kind of like just died in the bathroom of a gas station.
Here's the thing about this movie: there are characters who do some stupid shit in this film.
Yeah, well, that's a horror movie.
I know, and I mean, you could say the same thing about the first one.
Yeah.
There are characters who do some stupid shit in this film.
Getting Mike Myers' mask from the Attorney General, bringing it to him, being like, "You want
check this shit out, motherfucker!
Say something!
Talk to me. Yeah, you want this, right? yeah, you're chained. Fuck you, asshole. My work here's done." Yeah, what about, like, when the guy pulls up with his son on the bus full of convicts?
I'll go see what's going on. You stay here, kid.
You stay here, kid. Look, I'm gonna check this out.
None of that. Kid gets on 911, and the 911 dispatcher from the side of the conversation we're hearing must have asked him to leave the car and check things out, which I don't think is best practice in terms of, like...
Look, maybe he thought that it was an elaborate Halloween costume, that this group of people are dressed like the bus crash from The Fugitive. You were sitting next to, I forget what you said, like, when that guy got out of the car, I think you were just like, fuck off, or something like that. And even, like, Peanut Butter Dick Dad, who was the
peanut butter on my penis.
That was the other comic relief in the movie. Like, when he just goes outside towards the end of the film. That was another part where you were like, just fine.
Whatever. Your job was to open the door. That was all you were here in the movie for. But yeah, like,
Dad's tired of grandma's shit.
Generally, like, this movie was not very kind to the men in it. Like, they were all idiots, and they all died idiots.
I assure you, I'm not offended.
I didn't figure you would be. Like, on a balance, you're still doing fine.
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
But yeah, like, there was douchebag boyfriend who was, like, making out with a girl with black lipstick, and then came back like, what? She was whispering in my ear. He's just, like, got it all over his mouth.
Yeah.
And then there was, like, the comic relief friend who tried to pull a ducky on her in the middle of the night in, like, an alley. So, like, I'm sorry, but, like, if you're gonna pull the friends, but maybe more, in an alley is, like, the worst place to do it.
Or the best if you're in a horror film. Because really, this situation's gonna work itself out.
Yeah.
That guy's gonna die.
Yeah, they're not gonna have any awkward hangouts at school, I'll tell you what.
I have seen that guy in something. He kept reminding me of, like, the similar type of character from Love, Simon. I don't think...
Oh, that little douchebag?
Yeah,
For me, he just looked like Jesse from She's All That.
Right. Yeah, he looked like, what's his name from, like, the Mighty Ducks? Maybe it's the same actor.
It could very well be the same.
But...
Bam, I'm gonna look him up real quick.
Yeah, go for it. Like, but no, that dude was, he was gonna get taken care of fast. But what you really want out of this, like, there's, like, flaws that the movie has, certainly, because there is in every single one of these movies, but the movie was, no, it was a lot of fun. It was a very entertaining slasher film. It's a very well-made slasher film as well. It's suspenseful. It really makes you root for these characters too.
Eldon Henson.
That's the guy from. Oh yeah, that is the dude. Yeah. Daredevil. Yeah. Yeah, wish the chat was working. God damn it! I don't know why the chat's not working. That's probably my fault.
Shouting in your rooms like Eldon Henson.
Yeah, that's gotta be my fault.
Programming
this thing with my Ben Tramer mask. I didn't realize I shut the chat off.
While he was pressing the buttons because he was so excited about the bit we were gonna do.
I'm so excited. It's my dream come true to play Ben Tramer. But no, I recommend the movie. I thought it's a stylish film. Again, in that last act, you are really rooting for these people to really kill this motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, plus I was rooting for Judy Greer to come to her own because like she'd been training like a badass. She was 6 or whatever. And so the moment where like she's just sitting at the bottom of the staircase, like, Mama, come help me, I can't do it. And then Mike Myers tells her, she's like, got you.
Yeah, the payoff on that was really good. And that was another thing that was done way better than H2O did, where it's the child of Laurie Strode who's kind of dealing with how they've been raised because of what she went through in the events of the first movie.
What I like to call Gohan syndrome.
Yeah.
A joke for everyone but you.
The movie, I know, right? I said, yeah, like I know what that means. No, like, in this, like, it's just better written and better acted. In this, it's like, you kind of see how this person is really, Judy Greer is really been kind of trying with their mom to give her all the chances in the world.
Like, getting kind of smug about it.
No, I agree. Certainly.
You're a bad mother. I hate to say I told you so.
Yeah, I mean, like there's little things.
Man. She's been through some shit.
There's things like that, but it's like, I guess you've been living with that for like 40 years. Yeah. Like, I guess I get it.
Yeah, well, she's too entitled to be a little fucked up.
Whereas in H2O or Josh Hartnett, it's like, man, Mom, you're getting in the way of me getting laid.
I've already waited 40 days and 40 nights.
Oh, wait, that's the wrong Josh Hartnett movie. Fuck. And then Laurie Strode's son, Josh Hartnett, becomes partners with Harrison Ford at Hollywood Homicide.
Oh, we have fun.
We do. No, I recommend the movie. It was fun.
Yeah, we're bad. A little slow. Not as good as the first one, but...
No, but it's far better than a lot of the stuff that came afterwards, certainly, while still being a good movie.
So it's just this and the first one's like sitting on pedestals, and I gotta compare the two.
Okay, there's a chart online that you gotta look at. It's really, really, really funny. It starts out with, I'll just kind of briefly explain it. It starts out with like the first movie up there, and it's like, you like this, you want more, and then it'll veer off, and it'll be like, no, and then Halloween 3, it'll go down, so I'm like, yes, pick up directly afterwards, Halloween 2, and then it'll be like, yes, but 40 years later, and it's like this one, and then it's like, do you want more of this? It veers off and goes like, kinda, but start over. It's Rob Zombie's Halloween, and it kind of trickles down from there, like, I want a sequel to this, but Laurie dead. I want a sequel to this, but Laurie's still alive. It's pretty funny.
Oh, look it up.
I saw
Halloween
it on
movie
Facebook.
Flowchart.
Yeah. Should we do trailers?
We shall. We got 5 billion of them.
Oh, yeah. All pretty much horror films.
So, Escape Room. It looks like it's a fucking Saw movie.
No. It looks like Saw if it were in the Cube universe.
Yeah, like Saw. It's like Saw Cube.
Saw Cube. Hypercube. Yeah, that's actually, that movie looks like it might be kind of fun.
It looks like it'll be fun if you like the Saw movies.
Or if, like, it looks like it might do some interesting things with some of the sets in that film. Like, upside down bar restaurant, and like now they're on ice, and there's a key inside of a giant cube of ice,
which would be interesting if it didn't look like it was planning on just like killing them off one by one. And I don't really like movies like that, like the torture porn or whatever.
I mean, it does it actually does use, it does lift some lines from the last Saw movie I saw, where a guy sees a creepy puppet and goes, oh, that's not creepy. I saw that in Jigsaw.
The joke is that it is creepy. Chenandler Bong. Sorry, Miss Chenandler Bong.
Ms. Chenandler Bong.
Widows.
Oh, that was a mini trailer for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that still looks good.
I just love watching Viola Davis say, they don't think we have the balls to pull this
I know,
off.
right? I'm excited for that movie. I'm down with any Michelle Rodriguez movie, so I'm looking forward to this. Especially when it's revenge Michelle Rodriguez movie from the director of 12 Years a Slave. Sign me the fuck up.
I just hope that they all drive there in their fast cars.
Mm-hmm.
Pet Cemetery.
That looks like it might be good. And I like the original a lot.
I like John Leguizamo. Or not John. I like
John
also
Lithgow?
John Leguizamo.
I was like, where
but
was
I like
he?
John Lithgow. He was one of the cats, didn't you see? He was like a super fat cat. He was reusing his like fat suit from Spawn.
Oh no, he just shows up as his character from Ice Age. Why'd they bury that? How'd they find it? How's it still alive? No, yeah, that looks kind of cool. Yeah, John Lithgow is the Fred Gwynn role. That go down that road, like that guy. Yeah, that looks stylish enough. I hope that means they'll remake the second one.
That means they'll remake all the Stephen King movies.
Well, after it did so good. Probably. We probably will start getting remakes to a lot more of these.
I want a Christine, and I want a Cujo, and I want another Gerald's Game, even though I never did watch the other one that they made.
Gerald's Game was really good.
Was it?
That was really fucking good.
That was actually a pretty good book.
Yeah, I love the book.
Even though it's like a book about a lady tied to a bed.
It's a tense fucking book. No, that movie was really fucking good. I could see them remaking Dead Zone. I mean, they already made a TV series off of it.
Langoliers.
They
have the technology now.
They can rebuild it. They have the technology. No, that would be... Yeah, that I could see him remaking.
Well, I say book, but genuinely terrifying.
Yeah, miniseries not so much.
It was okay up until the payoff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there were some fun things in there before then, but ooh, oh boy. Yeah, they should remake that, honestly.
They should. Oh, The Prodigy.
Which one?
It's
We
like
saw
a little boy who's getting, like, hypnotized by the metronome.
That's the one that was. We got so many horror trailers in front of this. Yeah, where he runs towards the mom and he's a grown man at the end of the shot.
So it's basically Big.
Yeah. The gritty reboot that we've all been asking for. Yeah. I couldn't tell what the fuck that movie was about, but that ending shot was pretty good.
Yep. Captain Marvel, which I watched this preview on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that looks fun.
Looks good. I don't know if this needed to be shown in front of a horror movie, but...
Why not? Second act did.
The Curse of La Llorona.
Okay. This was fucking hilarious, because, alright, the movie looked fine, I guess, but then when it got to the title, there is not a spoken word of narration through this whole trailer, which there usually isn't in trailers nowadays. And
it's
then
like your quintessential trailer voice pops in, like, The Curse of La Llorona.
Because no one would know how to pronounce the title.
I do, because of the song from Coco.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like, so that's the only, that's the only reason I can think of that they put trailer voice guy to pronounce the title to you. That was ridiculous. I laughed my ass off when that happened.
We were both laughing. I think the people behind us were a little annoyed with us because at this point we were being a little chatty, but we were good during the movie. Glass.
That looks fucking awesome.
I need to watch Split. Apparently I need to watch Split first.
Yeah. Okay. Split leads into... Split was really fucking good.
Because I've seen Unbreakable. It's been a while. It's been about a minute. I feel like he put on his poncho like it's supposed to be his superhero costume.
Yeah, kind of.
It's gonna be hard to fight in, though.
Well, as long as he doesn't fall in water, he'll be fine. No, Unbreakable is still my favorite Shyamalan movie. I watched it again recently, too, after Split, and it still fucking holds up.
Better than Lady in the Water?
Oh, Lady in the Water wasn't even good back then.
Paul Giamatti just weeping openly straight into the camera for like 2 minutes.
And fucking Freddie Rodriguez, I think it was Freddie Rodriguez, who was only exercising one arm. And you know what? And I've said this before, I'm like, okay, I don't like that movie, because yeah, he's done some bad movies, but even his bad movies like that, it's still giving me something I've not seen before. Like, cause like, okay, well, it's still an E for effort on all of these.
And I'll tell you what, like, I'll rewatch The Happening any day of the week.
Same. I've seen it more than once.
Don't take my daughter's hand unless you mean it.
Right?
I'm a cat from Pet Cemetery.
Please give the cat a voice.
Happy Death Day to You.
Okay, I had no idea this was happening until we saw this trailer.
This looks fun as hell, man.
The first one was actually pretty good. Like, and it takes some effort to make a PG-13 slasher movie work.
Oh, it was PG-13?
The first one was, yeah. And it still managed to work.
It's allowed to be with her, like, drinking bleach and shit?
Oh, yeah. Like, that wouldn't get you an R. Drinking bleach?
Yeah.
I mean, if it showed it melting through your throat, that might get you an R.
Yeah. But PG-13, maybe I'll actually enjoyed watching that.
The first one was actually pretty entertaining. I mean, it's definitely a part comedy. Like, and that's one thing that helped it too, was that it actually was kind of funny. And also the girl, I can't remember the actress's name, but the girl is really fucking good in the first one. Sorry, yeah, I know. I wish the chat was up again. No, she did a brilliant job carrying that film. She was a lot of fun in that movie. So the second one, yeah, you know what?
Happy Death Day?
I'm down with seeing this character again.
Jessica Roth?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
As Tree Gelbman?
Yeah, oh, that's her. Yeah. Oh, that's just the poster for the movie.
Yeah, it's the same face though. She's just got her hair dyed.
Oh, okay.
She got her hair did.
Yeah, no, she was fantastic in that first movie, and I guess it'll probably be me and Irving at that one since we saw the first one together.
That's quick. The first one came out last year.
I had no idea that was getting a sequel till that trailer came up. Well, at first I saw when it started, I was like, are they re-releasing it? It's only been a year. Like, it starts out like
1 year anniversary edition of Happy Death Day.
But why not? Because the live action Cinderella is getting re-released this weekend. So why the hell not? You know what? Maybe I should see that. I've actually not seen the movie before.
I hadn't either. It looked pretty, and I like that little girl who plays Cinderella.
It's directed by Kenneth Branagh. I love me some Kenneth Branagh. So, you know what? Maybe it's not a bad idea they re-release that. Maybe I should go see it.
I like him less after Murder on the Orient Express, but that's just me.
He was still awesome in that movie.
Fine.
He is fine.
Lick those mustaches.
Yeah. Well, there is a re-release we'll be seeing here.
Yeah, we'll see that instead. We're gonna go see Twilight.
Twilight's getting re-released this weekend.
On either Sunday or Tuesday, depending on my schedule.
One of those days, we're gonna see ourselves some Twilight 10-year anniversary. Cause sure.
I feel like we should bring the riff tracks in on an iPod so we can like listen to it in one ear.
That movie's already hilarious. Was that it for the trailer?
Yeah, well, my favorite quote for Twilight is still "I'm Harpo," and that's not actually in Twilight. It's in the riff tracks for Twilight.
You know, there will probably be somebody in that audience.
Yeah, fucking this guy.
Yeah. There's bound to be. Yeah, that happened when Laura and I went to go see The Room, where there were just people, and it wasn't even one of those. It was just
toast at the screen.
Yeah, it wasn't even like one of those special screenings of The Room. It was just like a Fathom event, and they happened to be showing it. And it was like, man.
People decided that their fun was more important than your fun.
I was sitting there like, I don't want to pay Fathom events to sit through amateur riff tracks. Can you let the movie be funny on its own?
Nope.
No, but that was, they were just screaming out random things during the movie, so I don't know.
Because, yeah, I like a Rocky Horror, but there's a list of things you're supposed to scream, and a list of things you're supposed to throw that's been, like, carefully cultivated over the course of, like, 40 years.
I love going to see, live screening. And riff tracks. Riff tracks are fun. Riff tracks are fun. The big event, Rocky Horror, and stuff like that's fun. But, you know, I don't need every screening of the Rocky Horror Picture Show to be that. Yeah. Especially because Rocky Horror is a much better movie than The Room is. They are re-releasing that, too, towards the end of the month.
Rocky Horror?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they do, like, every year.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I'm down. Okay. I'm totally down with that.
I haven't seen that movie in quite a while, because I used to have a VHS copy, and I don't think I ever did get a DVD.
Well, I watched Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 the other day, and it had Laurie Strode and her friends dressed like Rocky Horror characters.
Nice.
Tomorrow, Dave and I are going to be at...
Brothers, Sisters?
Yeah, the Sisters Brothers, and Ryan and AJ, I believe, are watching... Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich.
You son of a bitch, Ryan! I wanted to see that. Okay, so I'm just gonna watch that on my own Steam then. Yeah. It's got Thomas Lennon. Mm-hmm. It's got Charlene Yee.
Yeah.
It's got fucking Udo Kier.
Nice.
Although I was talking to Brian about it the other day, apparently, like, instead of being against the Nazis, the puppies are Nazis in this.
The puppets?
Yeah, which is kind of a retcon that I don't approve of, but...
I mean, well, does that series have much continuity?
Well, there never have been Nazis.
Well, they've also, I don't think, ever been cowboys either, and isn't there a Western one?
There's one, and his name is Six Shooter.
Is there? Okay. I've only seen the first two. And part of Retro Puppet Master.
Because I've got a box set.
Have you seen all of them?
No. I just bought a box set.
There.
I was like, my point's been made. I have seen more than just the first two, though. That's
the paperweight we're using to prop the phone on. Here, use this. I need to use it for something.
Like $7 at the dollar store. Just like nine Puppet Masters. And I'm like,
mm-hmm. Well, the puppets only became Nazis because they also opened up a Twitter account.
They've been radicalized.
You bastard puppets!
Just Madame Leach with like her little hands. Just, MRA tweet.
Man, now I really want to see this movie. I'll have to talk to Ryan tomorrow, find out how it is. I have a copy of it at home.
Find out if it's good.
I will. Or at least entertaining.
I would have watched it by now, but it's still fucking $7 to stream, and it's like...
Oh. Yeah.
It's like $7 when I watch this movie. So find out from Ryan if it's $7 worth of movie.
Oh, I will. He'll be shooting me that video here sometime over the weekend when he and AJ watch that. But
God damn it, AJ.
Dave and I will be back tomorrow, so thanks a bunch everyone in the chat for watching. Take care.
Bye.